Top Best Netflix Series. The roller coaster of 2021 might have had you sticking to comfort watches with the pandemic going on and people dying. But in 2022, let's take this party to another level. We'll be taking you across a spectrum of different genres in this list, covering action series, drama series, comedy series, and others too, so stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to your entertainment channel Netflix Tops, where we tell you about the top-rated movies and series on Netflix. So grab your popcorn and stay with us until the end of this video, because today's video is going to list down the top 10 Netflix best series. So let's get started. Number 10. Breaking Bad. Some argue that The Wire is TV's best drama of all time. Others stand up for Mad Men or The Sopranos, the latter of which has the benefit of being so important historically that it begins many textbooks' modern TV eras. But Breaking Bad made its bones quickly, publicly, and with plenty of pizzazz. It entered the TV landscape with just a few episodes of tonally questionable wobbling, the balance finding of any ambitious acrobat searching for the tightrope center, and stuck the landing on the remaining 5 seasons. Who cares if the first season's DVD case called it a dramedy? America knew it was immediately, even if we didn't know exactly where it was going. How has the tragic ballad of science teacher turned meth kingpin Walter White, Bryan Cranston, weathered its title over the years? If the current TV landscape is anything to judge by, it's a proud grandfather, looking over its progeny with the same glee and gentle judgment of any overachieving patriarch. Breaking Bad may not have set the paradigm of unlikable anti-heroism in pop drama, but it certainly put the pop in the designation. Number 9. The Great British Baking Show. Known across the pond as the Great British Bake Off, the appeal of the widely popular reality TV series, most seasons of which are now available on Netflix, is its refusal to go in for dramatic controversies. Against Fox's Gordon Ramsay-hosted properties, Chopped, and even Top Chef, with their constant backbiting and broken dreams, the contestants on JBBS are sunny, mutually supportive amateurs. In any given episode, the worst crisis is Judge Paul Hollywood pressing a finger into a scone and pronouncing it underbaked. Even with new hosts and new judges as the series moved to ITV from the BBC, GBBS remains a wonderful, inspiring, refreshing, whimsical, and altogether happy series. Number 8. Better Call Saul. When Bob Odenkirk showed up toward the end of the second season of Breaking Bad, playing sleazy lawyer Saul Goodman, it was a small shock to the system for anyone who had long appreciated his work as a writer and a comic actor on a series like SNL and Mr. Show. Little did we know that this was only the beginning of a tragic and hilarious tale that would start to take on the scope of an epic Russian novel. This prequel in Vince Gilligan's meth drama Better Call Saul has accomplished the nearly impossible, expanding upon the source material of Breaking Bad with dynamic and sometimes heartbreaking results. And give full credit to Odenkirk and his co-star Michael McKean, Rhea Seehorn, and Jonathan Banks for further bringing to life how shaky a person's morality can be, especially when there are great gobs of money involved. Number 7. Friday Night Lights. Whoever thought football, a sport infamous for its meatheads and brute force, could be the cornerstone of one of television's most delicate, affecting dramas? Heartrending, infuriating, and rife with shattering setbacks and grand triumphs, Friday Night Lights is all of these. And in those ways, it resembles the game around which the tiny town of Dilton, Texas revolves. Tender and nuanced aren't words usually applicable to the gridiron, but they fit the bill here too. Full of heart but hardly saccharine, shot beautifully but hyper-realistically, and featuring a talented cast among which the teenagers and parents are blessedly clearly defined. The show manages to convince episode after episode that yes, football somehow really is life. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Number 6. Grace and Frankie. Sometimes the only thing worse than a flat-out bad show is a woefully mediocre one that thoroughly squanders its vast potential. Indeed, despite its luminous cast, respective creative team, Marta J. Kaufman, who co-created Friends, and timely subject matter, Grace and Frankie never quite shakes the impression that it's a broadcast comedy masquerading under a thick layer of prestige half-hour makeup. The story centers on the titular characters, Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin respectively, who end up becoming roommates, reluctant friends, after their husbands, Martin Sheen and Sam Waterston, announce they've been engaging in a long-term affair with one another and wish to dissolve their marriages to be together. Feeling tossed out to sea in the twilight of their lives, the two women attempt to rediscover life as newly single gals. Cue gags fueled by elderly dating, elderly sex, and ever-reliable elders trying to use technology. Grace and Frankie is far from a bad show, but it has enough going for it that one wishes it was so much better. Number 5. Bridgerton. All hail Bridgerton, Netflix's lush, swoony adaptation of a set of romance novels. The thirsty series focuses on a London family with 8 children, all of whom were blessed with good genes, and 5 or 6 of whom are currently of marriageable age. And thus, in this Regency-era setting, the game is afoot, with the quippy, mysterious gossip lady Whistledown as our guide. There are balls and rakes and other things that had a completely different meaning in the 1800s, but one thing that has not changed is how electrifying the buttoning of a glove or the slight touch of hand can be in the right context. The show also gets pretty explicit at times, but does so with a nearly revolutionary female gaze for a period drama. Although all of the Bridgerton siblings appear during the show's 8 episodes, the first season focuses primarily on the eldest daughter, Daphne, Phoebe de Nevers, as she enters society and attempts to secure a marriage proposal. Initially the talk of the town, her standing falls with the arrival of a beautiful newcomer. So, to escape a loveless marriage with an unsavory man chosen for her by her eldest brother, Daphne strikes a deal with the extremely handsome and newly titled Duke of Hastings, Reggie Jean Page, a committed bachelor with twice the bone-stripping hero energy any one man should possess. Bridgerton isn't perfect, but it's candy-colored, gloriously anachronistic romp that brings a new vivacity to bonnet dramas, and is great fun. Number 4. War of the Worlds. Director Brian Haskin's 1953 adaptation of H.G. Wells' classic novel remains one of the most notable science fiction films of the 1950s. Today, the film stands as an essential, if somewhat dated, milestone in the evolution of special effects. In other words, unlike certain other properties, a remake was not out of the question, and who better to do so than Steven Spielberg? War of the Worlds is an incredible series. The power of Spielberg's 2005 vision is how he repurposed the original's pervading Cold War paranoia in favor of incorporating elements of post-9/11 trauma. When the Tom Cruise character, having narrowly escaped the initial alien attack, looks into the mirror and realizes he's covered in the ashes of disintegrated civilians, it's next to impossible not to summon up the image of debris-covered New Yorkers wandering around the aftermath of the World Trade Center attacks. Yes, the film kind of falls apart in the final reel, but by that point, it's earned more than enough goodwill to balance out the weaker areas. Number 3. The Gentleman. Fresh off the Disney debut, director Guy Ritchie returned to fast-paced form with action flick The Gentleman, evoking his earlier films like Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. The Gentleman follows American expat Mickey Pearson, Matthew McConaughey, who has built a highly profitable marijuana empire in London. When word gets out that he's looking to cash out of the business forever, it triggers plots, schemes, bribery, and blackmail in an attempt to steal his domain out from under him. The flick also stars Charlie Hunnam, Henry Golding, Michelle Dockery, Jeremy Strong, Eddie Marsan, Colin Farrell, and Hugh Grant. Number 2. Conversations with the Killer, the John Wayne Gacy tapes. After helping establish the true crime documentary craze with 1992's Brother's Keeper and the Paradise Lost trilogy, Joe Berlinger directed Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, the biographical crime drama starring Zac Efron as Ted Bundy. He paired that film with a Netflix docuseries about the serial murderer, Conversations with a Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes. Now he's back for conversations with another of America's most heinous criminals, John Wayne Gacy, in a new 3-part series. Number 1. The Ultimatum, Marry or Move On. Trashy reality TV has found its newest home in Netflix with a series of scandalous relationship shows, and The Ultimatum, Marry or Move On may be the ultimate in reality trash. Hosted by Nick and Vanessa Lackey, couples decide they want to marry, just maybe not with the person they came with. And this brings us to the end of the video. What are your thoughts on today's video? Share with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for amazing movie reviews coming your way. And thank you for watching.